Hello guys, today I'm doing a very quick unboxing video of this, which is the Vulcan brake from Vision. Now, the Vulcan brake comes with three different calibers available, either 6mm, 6.5mm or 30 cal. This is obviously the 30 cal, as it will be going on my Accuracy International once I've either got the barrel re-threaded or whether I've got a new barrel altogether, and that's because they only come in M18x1 or 5/8x24 thread sizes. And they come in this, which is the stainless steel, which I think looks pretty awesome and is obviously going to be good for Cerakoting, and also a brass version. Now, in the box, only comes with the brake and the tools and the screws that you'll need, and I'll come on to them in a bit. This is a self-timing muzzle brake with the self-timing nut here. On the self-timing nut, you have three small set screws, so that once you've got it threaded onto your barrel, you've got it perfectly level with your scope and the chassis. You can adjust the timing nut, get it all sorted, and once that's tightened down, you can tighten the timing nut so that when you then screw the muzzle brake on and off the end of your threads, it'll always go back to the same point every time. Also included in here, as I said, is several tiny set screws. I won't get them out because I will lose them, but they are used for the adjustable gas system here at the top of the brake. There's 7 ports here that can be blanked off with screws so that you can adjust the amount of gas that is being forced out the top of the brake, which will obviously keep the muzzle from rising as much, or it should do at least. And you can obviously play around with that depending on what caliber you're firing. You can play around with how much gas comes out the top there as to hopefully keep that muzzle staying nice and flat throughout the recoil impulse. Also in here is, which I think is quite a handy little tool, having played around with some self-timing muzzle brakes before, is just this, which is a reinforced steel threaded bar, if you like, which screws into the bottom of the brake there, so that you've got something to put some leverage onto, so that when you're tightening it up, as you'll know if you put on a self-timing muzzle brake, normally you get it to a certain point, and when you start applying pressure to the nut to tighten it up, the brake wants to go with it. That gives you something to hold on to, or something to, even if you wanted to use it as a level, you know that's the exact 6 o'clock position at the bottom of the brake. So you can get that there, and you've got something to keep some leverage on whilst you tighten that nut down. Then you can just remove it and it stays. You can keep it in your kit bag or whatever, just in case you need to take it on and off. But that's a really handy little tool, I think. Clearly something they thought of when they're putting it together. The brake itself has 4 90-degree, or they're pretty much 90-degree ports. Now, I've used some muzzle brakes before with quite aggressive porting to the rear, which obviously kicks a lot of the concussion and the gases back towards the shooter, as well as the other people on the shooting line. And that has caused me in the past some tinnitus and things like that when using other brakes. So I prefer 90-degree brakes myself. It also stops on like dry days and things like that. It stops you getting covered in a load of dust and having to wipe your rifle down as much because you're kicking all of that stuff back in your face. But also in there, you can probably just about see there are some grooves and some little machined parts in there just to break up those gases as they do get to those 90-degree ports and force them out towards the side. But I'm really excited to get this installed on my rifle. Like I say, I've got to get mine re-threaded or a new barrel. I'm undecided yet. I did say in my last video that I'd probably be keeping the same action barrel, but I might change the barrel. Seeing as I'm going to have to pay to get it re-threaded, I might as well pay to get a new barrel. That's my logic anyway. But yeah, so hopefully going to get this installed come the new year, and I'm really looking forward to doing some testing and showing you guys the effect, hopefully through the trigger cam. Hopefully there'll be some noticeable difference in the amount of muzzle rise as we blank some of these off. We'll go maybe with a blank muzzle with no brake on it, and then put the brake on it with all the ports closed, and then maybe open them all up and just see if there is a real tangible difference. And see what happens there. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. Like I say, 6mm, 6.5mm, and 30 cal, M18x1, 5/8x24, and they're available in stainless steel and brass. I think the brass version is slightly heavier, ever so slightly heavier, But this is the stainless steel version. Like I say, that would be nicely, probably Cerakoted black. Although if I get a new barrel that's stainless, I might leave this stainless. But we'll see. If you want to look at this or any of other Vision's products, if you're in the UK, go to Spartan Refinishing, and Christian there will be able to sort you out with either one of these or one of Vision chassis, etc. If not, go to visionprc.com, and you'll be able to look up on there at least your local supplier. If not, you'll be able to order direct from Vision.